60 years ago, the Guess Who came together, was incredibly successful. Since then, there've been reunions, there've been breakups, there've been solo careers. What's the biggest challenge getting ready for this tour?
Staying alive. Stay alive, stay healthy. I mean, we've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I mean, even this last week, I mean, guys are going.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've already accomplished the biggest challenge by keeping going, you know.
Lonely days are gone, I'm a-going home. My baby just wrote me a letter. These eyes have seen a lot of love, but they're never gonna see another one like I have.
By any measure, Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings have been remarkably successful. By their early 20s, they wrote songs that have become rock classics.
Well, you're laughing at me. Well, you're laughing at me.
They were founding members of the Guess Who, the first Canadian band to hit #1 in the U.S.
American woman, baby said get away.
Then, at the peak of the band's success, they parted ways.
If you ever didn't know it, couldn't be yourself before.
Bachman formed BTO, while Cummings fronted the Guess Who for a few more years, then launched a solo career. There have been reunions, but it's been a while.
She's come undone. She didn't know what she was headed for.
For the first time in decades, they're getting back together as the Guess Who, a delay that was extended because of a legal dispute through which they lost rights to the name of the band they made famous. I met up with Bachman and Cummings at a rehearsal space in the West End of Toronto and started by showing them some film from one of their early interviews.
We're at a little hotel room here, and we're talking to the Guess Who from Winnipeg. You were supposed to do your little bit there.
Okay.
Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, do your bit.
Let me wrap you in
We are very young here. Wow.
and tender love.
That's my first guitar. $34 harmony guitar.
Seriously.
No, it started out, as the normal kind of thing, just playing around the high school gymnasiums and.
I have no idea where this is
No.
from. Absolutely no recollection of this. Or that vest I'm wearing. I've seen enough. I can't watch anymore.
Look, the Beetle boots. We're all wearing Beetle
It's
boots.
true. It is something we've never seen.
Now, over the years, you guys have had incredible successes, but I've read some rough spots too, right? Some creative differences. Tell me a little bit about that, because obviously you've managed to patch things up. How tough was it?
Tell me any successful couple you know that hasn't had that.
Yeah.
Lennon McCartney, Jagger and Richards, Bacharach and David. You got any brothers?
Goffin and
I don't. But if I did, I would probably
You
be
got
feuding
brothers
with
and
them.
sisters?
As sister, yeah.
What do you fight?
Yeah.
A band is a family that you choose. You're born into your family, you're stuck. A band you could choose, and if it doesn't go right, you leave. You have a fight. You
Start a
leave.
new band.
Right.
Well, when I was in high school,
And then you realize what the other band was. Never mind this guy was a jerk once, because I was a jerk once. He's been a non-jerk 10 times, and he's a much better player or singer, whatever, and he's always on time, and he's a music freak.
And the minstrel boy is not singing anymore.
think back to that time period, 1965, 1970, and how young you were and how incredible the music was that you put out song after song after song. And as you think back to that time, what was it like?
It was fun.
Or did you
It
have
was
to
fun.
labor
And
over it?
here's one thing I remember very clearly is that he would come to me with great riffs, with guitar riffs. And out of the blue, I would just start singing. And, 45 minutes later, there was a song there. Like, we were very good at putting pieces together. Even These Eyes. Like, I'm the piano player. Everybody thinks I wrote boom, boom, da 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 da.
I assumed you did.
He did.
Wow.
He did that on piano. And I said to him when he showed me that, I said, wow, that's pretty cool for a piano player, for a guitar player to play that.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, I got this song and it's These Arms. And I didn't like that. I said, no, let's change it to These Eyes.
These eyes cry every night for you.
And then from there, we had this verse, and he had the verses going in, and I said, okay, we need something really dramatic in the middle. So I came up with that And then there was the other part of the song. It needed to go from the softer part into something more dramatic, and there it was. And it was the two of us putting pieces together.
We also had no financial pressure. We lived at home. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, Granny Kirkpatrick and Rhoda Cummings and Charles and Ann Bachman. We lived at home.
Yeah.
When we made money, we bought records, we bought instruments. We didn't have to pay any rent. We were fed good food. We wrote every Saturday at his house with Granny Kirkpatrick making us cookies and 7-Up at like 2 o'clock. We'd start writing at 11. We'd have our cookies. We'd written a song. We'd go home, have a shower. I'd pick him up. We'd go do a gig.
Yeah.
Back to school on Monday, you know.
So you mentioned songs like These Eyes, American Woman, hits #1. Tell me about the moment you found that out.
Oh my gosh. We were on tour. We toured endlessly in those days. We were on tour. We were in a Holiday Inn, I think, downtown somewhere in Milwaukee.
Making $750 a night.
In Milwaukee. And we weren't that big yet, but we were working a lot. And we were thrilled to be working the States regularly. Now, in those days, Wednesday was the big day of the week. That's the day you got the call from New York about the new chart positions in Billboard. So Wednesday was the big day of the week for us every week. We're about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We're in Milwaukee, and somebody got a call. I think he got the call originally and told the rest of us. We got the call that American Woman had gone #1 in Billboard. We couldn't believe, and we were fighting the Beatles with Let It Be. We were fighting the Jackson 5. We were fighting all these huge acts. And American Woman ends up #1, and it stayed #1 for 3 weeks.
Wow.
There you go.
And all 3 trades, Record World, Cashbox, and Billboard. So we all got on the ice. I got the phone call. I call everybody together like a serious band meeting and go, we're #1. We all put our arms around each other, stand on the bed, jump up and down like little kids. We're #1. The whole bed caves in. We go to the next bed. There's 2 beds in each room. We do it again. We go to the gig and get $750. Then our price went to $10,000 a night.
It was like we were like 9-year-old girls meeting in sync. When we heard that news that we had gone #1, it was almost too much to believe. I'm a kid from the north end of Winnipeg. I grew up without a dad. This was way beyond anything we could have imagined, or hoped for.
Yeah, and the Guess Who is still a really important brand, except for a few years, one of your band members trademarked it, toured in the United States. The band that was touring under the name Guess Who was a shadow of the real Guess Who. I follow you on Instagram, Burton. I know that was very frustrating for you.
Oh, it was awful. And, their history now, I don't want to go into it too much, but they used to actually do things like take our real albums to meet and greets, and they would sign on our pictures. And finally, Randy and I saw this going on, and I mean, he's got a lot of kids and grandkids, and they see online the Guess Who is here and there, and they're wondering, like, is Grandpa playing in Cleveland tonight? Is Grandpa in Florida tonight? But no, it's the fake Guess Who. It's the fakes. So thank you, music gods. We have put that to bed.
Yeah.
And the real guys, I mean, we're the real 2 guys that really got the thing off the ground in the first. It was our songs that got it off the ground. So I think this is very justified, and we're both very happy with playing with each other again. And we've got a lot of guitar players and singers together now, and it's the strongest band that I've been in a long time.
How different is it, though, for you to tour at this age? So, for example, your voice, I was listening to some of the Guess Who stuff just this morning, and your voice was so beautiful, so sweet, so high. What's it like at this stage?
Well, we haven't dropped the keys too much. We've dropped, first of all, we play a half tone down in general, which helps a little bit. And then on something like, we're not doing Stand Tall on this tour, but it's so hard to sing, I take that down an extra key. But more or less, we're just a half a key a half a key down, which a lot of groups play anyway. We're only a half tone down.
No time for a summer friend, no time for the love you send.
And what about for you? You know, rock and roll, big guitar god on the stage, and before you probably did, you know, a show every night from town to town. What's it like now? How different is it now?
Traveling is a little bit better in a way, and worse than a lot of. What's worse is the airports. What you got to go through at the airports. If you have one extra ounce of shampoo, they take your shampoo. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But we've got tour buses now. When we were touring, we were jammed in a station wagon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Jam.
I mean, that's a big difference. So you can be on a bus with a lovely bunk to go to. There's Wi-Fi, there's television, there's
A kitchen. You play cards. You're watching videos.
It's
but
not
it's
like it
still
was.
pounding away at your body and your mind and your heart and soul. It's just pounding, pounding, pounding.
We used to drive from Winnipeg to Minneapolis, 500 miles to record in 4 tracks. That's pretty ancient thinking these days. You know, you can do an album now on your laptop. So how have things changed? Oh, drastically.
For somebody who's watching this who may be in their 40s or 50s and they don't really know the Guess Who, it's from an era before their time, why should they think about going to watch one of your concerts?
Why? Because I think we're the ultimate example of don't quit. Keep going, don't quit. If you get knocked down, get back up again and try again. We're the ultimate example of that.
It's a joy to sit on stage and look at the audience, and you see a teenager and somebody in their mid-30s, somebody in their 50s, and it's a kid and his father and his grandfather, and they're all singing your song. They're singing These Eyes Are American Woman or something like that. It's really amazing. We've achieved our teenage dream.